best thing I could ever do for me is love myself. I was sitting on the bed in Atlanta, Georgia. It'll be the last time that I cry these tears again.
I love the way she said Georgia. She said Georgia. She said Georgia.
Georgia.
She did that on purpose.
Georgia.
With intention.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted y'all to know that.
Sis, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
How you feeling?
I feel rejuvenated. Like,
Really?
we just meditated before the pod. So, like, I was such at peace that I fell asleep.
No, same. I fell asleep too, and then I was like, I kept hearing the alarm, and I was like, let me sit up and see if Daisy sits up too.
Like, man, like, I heard it, but
You didn't want to keep.
I didn't.
I felt you not get up, and I stayed there for a little bit longer, and then I was like, okay, we got to do this.
Like, we have to do this. Wake
Yeah.
up. That's so funny because every time I visualize, I sometimes get in that middle stage where I'm like conscious, but I'm asleep at the same time. But that's how it's supposed to be. I was watching a podcast. I can't give out the credits, but they said that the last 5 minutes of your day is the most important because that's when your subconscious mind is like gonna pick up all your thoughts and it's gonna turn into your dream. I mean, if you're a dreamer,
Yes.
not everybody has dreams, but if
I
you set
agree.
your intentions at the end of the night and you even visualizing at the end of the night, like I've done this and I was able to switch up my dreams. It's
You know
just-
what's funny that you say that? Because I have been babysitting my brother this past weekend. You know, I've been watching him, and I've been staying the night with him. And we do a prayer before he goes to sleep. And the other day we did a prayer, and he woke up the next morning. He was like, I had a nightmare. And I was like, okay. So I was like, what's your nightmare? He didn't want to talk about it. And so the next night, I said, let's do a nightmare let's do a prayer. And then like I prayed, I was like, God, make sure you remove any negative thoughts, anything that doesn't serve my little brother. And we did it together and we both said amen, but it was the intention. I know that with intention. And so even when you say the last 5 minutes, like make sure you focus on the good things or like that type of thing before sleeping, because it's the intention. It's really the intention, the power behind the intention.
And prayer itself is so powerful. So like prayer, and you add in a little bit of meditation, like coming to yourself and being in the moment, and you adding visualization to that. Like, ooh,
Oh, yeah.
like you're going in your affirmations, like doing all those things. The last 30 minutes, however long it takes you at the end of the night, will set you up for success the next day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times we're scrolling on our phones, we fall asleep that way, and then we wake up, and what's the first thing we do? We grab our
Get back,
phone.
right, get back on the phone. I am guilty of that.
I got to a point when I wake up, I grab my phone, I snap my hand, and I say, thank you, Lord, for waking me up for this day.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy that whenever I do that, when I do pick up my phone the first thing, like when I wake up, my day is not, it just feels different. It feels off almost. And when I say thank you and when I start doing gratitude and before I even open, it's like opening the world, like when you grab your phone and you scroll through it in the morning, you're like opening the world of opinions, of the world of other people's minds, the world of things that don't have anything to do with you. Maybe they do. Maybe there's people emailing you, texting you about something important, but it's not as important as making sure you're grateful and you're present and you're in your body.
And if you're not successful if you wake up with those intentions and you grab your phone, and I can see if on your phone you have it set up where it's only the highlights of the things that you like to see, but the reality is it isn't, and it's spirits, and it can catch on to you. And
even when you follow like good accounts, good people, like, because I've filtered out people, like accounts that I don't really
or
care
show
for.
less of this, show more of this.
I have filtered out that, but even then I still see things that like have nothing to do with me, and I'm like, wow, the first thing I see is this.
Right.
Like literally on your phone, you just go like this and then this and then this. It's like,
I'm really not a scroller. I'll just watch my own stories 1,000 times.
No,
I
same.
mean, I'll comment. Like, I'll watch the people that I'm close with stories and engage with. I try to engage on the Queendom Pod, but as far as like me personally, just because I know how big of an influence social media is, I try to stay away from that.
Yeah.
And most of the time I catch myself because I'll start and then I'll see an inspirational podcast or like a short clip and, oh, you got me. I'm watching the video now. So I'm off of this and I'm like, I got what I needed from it. And I'm feeding my soul and my spirit. And that's how it normally goes for me.
Lately, I've been like, it's crazy because I went on TikTok and I seen, you know, I've been sending you videos lately of this man named Bashar. And if you guys know Abraham Hicks, it's like the same thing, but a man. And so, it just so randomly, I was scrolling through TikTok and he came up and I sat there and listened. And then now all I see when I go on TikTok are his videos. But lately I've been listening to more, like educational, more self-help videos, which is something I always do. But on YouTube, like it's something about going on YouTube and searching for what you know you need to listen to. Like I'm sure you go and search for Sarah Jake sometimes. I'm sure, or like on the timeline it pops up or what.
Most of the time I see posts related to the posts that I already watch on my timeline. Right. It's rare that I go to YouTube and type in something that I'm searching for. That's more so like Google for me. But for YouTube, it's like everybody that I'm subscribed to, I'm updated.
You listen. Yeah, like, no, that's same because I do when I have those subscriptions, I tap on them. But then sometimes when I'm like, a video of his could really help me right now, and I just got like type their name, and then all the videos come up, and I'm like, this one. You know what I mean? Like intuitively, I'm drawn to the one I'm supposed to see at that moment.
I actually like to just get up there and go to the feed, and normally it's the first thing I see, and is relating to what I'm going through in my life. So I click on it and tell me why the word is exactly for me. So that's normally how I do it, and I just try to surrender to like everything I can, to be honest.
Right, the synchronicity of seeing what pops up and it being what you need in that moment. Yeah. That's so crazy.
I love that.
No, I've been learning a lot about how passion leads you to so much abundance, doing what you love, right? And we've been doing a lot of what we love lately. That's kind of been something I had never, like, because I feel like I'm in this blank slate. Like I'm starting with this blank slate right now in my life. And so I'm like, okay, well, if I have a blank slate, what do I want to create? And so the other day in my journal, I made a list of all the things that I want to start seeing. Like I literally put, Capri, Italy. I put, events with podcasting. I put singing in studios, making music, blah, 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 right? All these desires and things that I want to because I know I'm so drawn to them. And that's the most important part, right?
Write it down. Why else would God say, make a vision and write it plain? I think I said that backwards. But
wait, how? What?
Why else would like write it down? I feel like it's just something about writing it down and then like not pressing it.
Yeah, I was learning, but yeah, what I wanted to say, I wanted to tell you this earlier on the phone, but it was like so much. But basically it's like talking about passion, right? And because Bashar was teaching this today, he was talking about how when you have your passion, everything that happens in your life is happening because it's a part of what you need. And sometimes we're like, maybe I should change this. Maybe I should. But like what you've learned so far in the situation is what you needed. And it's a part of the toolbox that you need to get you further to where you want, as far as passion, when you're following your passion. And this goes for passion. Yeah. And so basically what I'm like learning, I kind of want to read it to you. I'm like, I feel called to pull it out. It's really, girl, hold on. Here it is. It said, okay. It's saying that it was talking about 5 forms of abundance. I was saying money. A lot of people think that money is the only form of abundance, right? The only highest form of abundance. They think that like without money, there's no other way I can succeed, right?
And if you were watching our last episode, you would know that it's definitely not the only way of abundance.
Right. Yes. And then the second form was trade, right? And trade is like when you trade something out. It's like an energy exchange. You know what I mean? Like you give me something, I give you something. Trade. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then giving and receiving, right? This was something I was like, ooh, I did not know this. I mean, it is abundance. Like, you know how I told you that the place that I'm at, like, I don't pay for it, right? Mm-hmm. And so it was like a gift, right? And so I kind of, like, a lot of people around me think that, like, God, like, you know, that's not, like, you didn't pay for that. Like, that didn't come out of you. Like, they kind of shove it in my face like that that I'm not deserving of it. And I took it as a gift. And what he said was that when you receive it as a gift, what you don't know is that you're gifting them by receiving it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. Good. So when you block a gift, a lot of people have a hard time receiving gifts. I used to have a hard time receiving gifts because I was such a giver. And I was like, I want to give, but I can't receive because I felt it was like too much for me until I realized like I was blocking my own blessings. So I started to receive and I started receiving big gifts, like not money, but bigger. You know, what's bigger than money? The place you stay at. You know what I'm saying? And so I received that big gift and I didn't know that it was also me giving to them because they felt good about giving to me. You know what I'm saying? So like, I thought that was big because a lot of us givers that are so big on giving to the world, we don't receive. Yeah. You know, and it's hard.
I felt that 100%.
Have you gone through that? Where you had a hard time receiving?
Yeah. Well, I'll feel like, oh, they gave me so much, like I owe them something. When in reality, you have a choice to choose to be in that state of mind, or you have a choice to receive it as a gift. And when you don't receive it as a gift, you're opening the door to blocking your blessings. Right. Well, you're closing the door on your blessings. Yeah. Because if you can't even like be in that heart space of gratitude for the gift because you're so in your head and your ego and you're just like, oh, I gotta figure out like they keep give to me, or I don't know, like maybe they don't think like I got it, or what are other people gonna say? Right. Then that's when you block your blessings.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do too with people, like you said, ego. The biggest part about that and receiving gifts from people that give a lot is that they think that if I ask for help or if I receive something from someone else, I didn't get it on my own. You know, and this is so crazy. This just so brought back. This just brought back something. When I was struggling in LA, it was hard for me to receive help because I felt like in my body, I felt the trauma of if I get help from someone else, my parents will be disappointed in me because I didn't get it on my own.
Because we live in the world where everything has to be made out the mud and get it on your own. Right. But honestly, that's only like. That's how society wants us to think is programming.
Let me tell you something. I struggled the most. I remember, Daisy, I cried so hard because I felt like I didn't struggle enough in my life. So I was like, I don't deserve success. I don't deserve abundance. Like, I come from a middle class family, income, that kind of stuff, home, everything, middle class lifestyle. And I felt because of all the success stories, since they got it out the mud, I thought that I had to too. And so because I wanted success and I wanted to get someplace, I was like, nah, I gotta be broke. I was trying so hard to live a different life, to fit in with what society was telling me, that you have to get it from the mud to actually deserve something. No, if you're alive, you're deserving. It doesn't matter what place in life you are in, you know. And oh, I cried so hard. I remember that was so big for me, bro. Like, you know how many people think they're not deserving of something because they didn't work for it?
Yeah. Honestly, I've had someone tell me and another friend, like, y'all don't have the same struggles as me, so I can't be friends with you. Girl, what? What do you mean? And that just shows their mindset and how they think, because don't you want to surround yourself around people that have different mindsets, that are going where you want to go, that don't look like the struggle that they've been through? That's your choice to wear that on your crown.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to do that. And that just made me feel like, wow, somebody actually think like I have it all together. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And another thing is what you said about your family and getting it out the mud and how they paved the path for you. That's how it's supposed to be. And a lot of people at the top, they paved the path for their children. And it's deeper.
That was my hardest thing. Finish. So I can tell you. It's deeper
than just money, success. What generational curses are you breaking? Because like you said, like we speak about abundance mindset. So just, even if your family is the biggest and the richest and like you got it made or whatever, you don't, because there's still some generational curses that you have to break that cannot come with you. And that's why you see people at the top so unhappy, because no one broke that addiction, no one broke that depression. Like, is real.
Yeah. No, yeah. Another thing that I was told when I was having that struggle within myself was that I don't know that my parents got it out the mud to get me here. Right? So they struggled for me. So I didn't have to struggle. Right? And so me, I remember who was around. Now it's like coming back to me, who was around me when they were telling me and helping me through this season of feeling undeserving. I didn't feel deserving of success.
When was this?
It was last year.
Okay.
It was last year. And the year before that, like, I had thoughts before that, but last year I feel like I broke through completely, because I was like, oh, me thinking that I'm not deserving of success because I didn't get out the mud, but my parents did. Bro, I should keep going. Too. Yeah, but I should give them that gift of keep going with my life and accepting and receiving that they want to give to me what they didn't have, you know? And we don't think that like, oh, our parents want to give to, like, I have that privilege and honor to have parents that help me a lot. And I'm so grateful. Like, oh my God, like, I don't know where I would be without them. I really don't. I mean, they've helped me become the woman, but they also haven't. I've put a lot of credit into who I am, but they've helped me a lot when I have needed it. But me acting like I don't deserve success because I have the lifestyle I have, and because I have more than enough abundance, it's like saying to God, like, my presence doesn't mean anything, and I don't deserve the best. Like, how could I tell God that, right? Like, God wants abundance for your life. God wants the best of the best. That God wants you to love what you do, have passion, bring out creativity. And imagine me just saying I'm not deserving of all of that. Just because of where I come from, because I didn't get it out the mud.
You know what? I love that, man. I love the whole gift receiving thing, and it brought me to a post I sent you earlier this week where there was someone who was successful at 25 years old and died at 50. There was someone who was born successful and was sick. Like I say all that to say, like, everybody has their own journey,
right.
And you cannot compare, because of course everybody knows comparison is the thief of joy. And that's why you were feeling that way too, because you were comparing, and people were projecting their
social media.
Yeah, social media, exactly. But honestly, you just gotta be grateful for what you have.
Absolutely.
To even receive more. That's
what I was missing. I was missing that gratitude of the fact that I had everything I needed. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's a blessing. That is, wow, that's
and
big.
Our parents, they did the best they could. Like,
exactly.
Everybody do the best they can. I would hope so.
Yeah.
But like, that's all we can do, Aurora. We even talked about that earlier. Like, just waking up and being okay with not going to sleep and finishing all of our tasks on our to-do list, but being satisfied with, hey, today I did the best I can do. So
exactly, like always doing the best we can, but also knowing that because we are alive, because we are here, we are deserving of everything that our heart desires. There is nothing that could ever take that away from you. Because you have life, because you are breathing, because you are here, because you are watching this video with us, that means that you are deserving of life. You're breathing.
Still here.
You're breathing, dude. There's people that don't wake up.
I want you guys to try this exercise right now. Let's try it. Okay. Let's put our hand over our heart, and we're gonna breathe in and hold it.
Oh, wait, hold it at the top?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay, again.
Okay, breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Sorry, that's a breakdance song, but seriously, like, that heartbeat, you should do this exercise daily. Like, just to know, like, hey, like, God was very specific when he created a heart that could beat every second of your life. Like,
and that will beat depression. It will beat that feeling of being lost. It will beat anything, because if you are here, you still have a purpose.
Yeah.
I felt that all in me.
You do. And where does purpose come from? Pain.
Talk about it.
There's purpose in pain.
Oh, girl.
And everybody experiences their own level of pain, but some people are like, they just get it. Like, they're able to. I feel like I'm like this now, but I haven't always been. But I'm able to, especially if you're empath, see your pain and see what you go through from a certain situation and pull back on my end, because I'm mean?
Like, give an example.
So I'm able to learn from other people's experiences versus having to put myself through it. Mm-hmm. If I know that my family struggles with alcohol addiction, I'm not going to try to drink alcohol every day.
Right.
Because I know that, hey, I might have like a
tendency.
Yeah. Or like it's in my bloodline. Like actually, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus and send it back to where it came from.
Amen.
Because it don't belong to you. Like
nothing you want.
It does not belong.
If you don't want something to belong to you, that's quote unquote in your bloodline, it doesn't have to be.
And I just felt called to put y'all on a prayer. When y'all pray, I challenge you to say, like, I rebuke or anything that was put on me, any projections, anything someone prayed that was not aligned to your will, God. I rebuke it and I send it back to where it came from.
Mm-hmm. That's powerful.
Mm-hmm. Because that's like breaking every chain.
Yeah. And there's power in your word.
Oh, yeah.
So when you know that there's power in your word, any prayer you do, any intention you do is powerful, is going to be done.
So powerful.
Because you stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you have to see, like, there's power in seeing things. There's power in feeling things. There's power in speaking things. And I'm a living testimony of the life that I wanted to live 2 years ago, a year ago, a minute ago, a second ago, like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, I am. And I just remember being in the lowest place of my life and closing my eyes and seeing where I am today and to experience that, like, my heart is so full of gratitude. Like, I'm so grateful for that.
Well, yeah, I just posted something today where I was talking about how I remember I used to little old me used to daydream about my life now, where I used to cook meals for myself, where I wanted to wear a robe, where I wanted as little, Daisy, as little as having an ankle bracelet. That to me,
Me too.
you don't understand.
Me too.
Maybe you laughing, but I'm so
me
serious.
too. I'm so serious.
I thought that was the finest thing a woman could wear. Not finest thing, but like I really thought that was really attractive.
No, when I was younger, I used to like the little things that don't even really matter, to be honest.
Yeah,
like I'm
We
going
used to
to get
daydream
a
about
double
that.
nose ring, or like I want this.
like one day I want this. One day I want to dye my hair. I remember I used to wish I could dye my hair. I had black hair, and now look at me.
Period. She
I
look
look
good.
good.
She look good.
I look good. But no, but yeah, like I used to daydream about this version of me. I was just thinking about that, and the only reason I got to that thought was because I was in silence, and I was like sitting with myself. The power of silence. Oh my goodness.
There's power in like everything, to be honest. Everything.
Yo,
Like everything. So be careful what you do. Be careful what you engage in and what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Be mindful of what you take in. Girl, I just realized, you know how long it's been since I watched TV?
I just watched a couple documentaries not too long ago, but they were documentaries because I was taking something from them. You know,
we don't count those.
I don't really watch TV either. It's not my. It's really just to like keep you stuck in the matrix, if you ask me.
Entertainment purposes. My voice is like going out.
Yeah, drink some water. But yeah, I feel like it's personally like just keeping you stuck in that matrix of.
Turn your mic off.
No, I can hear me. In that like hypnotism of keep everyone asleep and don't have people studying, don't have people knowing more about their mind, the power of their mind, the power of belief, the power of, you know, all of these powers that we have, that comes out of you studying. Because me, Daisy, for me to be the person I am today, I don't think people just kind of see who I am today. And I know this is also for you. What, can you hear yourself through your mic?
No, my mic went out.
I can hear you. Yeah, I think it's your headset. Yeah. I think you pressed a button. I think you pressed a button. You see that green?
I'm back.
You're back? Okay. It was just the button that you pressed. But basically, what I was saying is that people see this version of me today, but they don't know all the years of work that I studied, researched, listened to lectures, wrote notes down, listened to, oh my God, I can say thousands and thousands of podcasts, YouTube videos, thousand books, bro, self-help. When I tell you, like therapy, oh my goodness, like
relationships,
life. Like, and the only thing that keeps you going forward is you having that willpower to keep going, like to not stop and be stuck and be comfortable where you're at, you know, because that's the only thing. And you know, when you
feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. You're like, well, it's the same thing over and over. Like, how is that any fun?
I don't even know how to describe this, but there's just something inside of me when I see something that I know, like, I don't want my future life to look like. I instantly, like, don't want it anymore. Even if I continue to associate with it, engage in it, it's like I instantly don't want it anymore. Like, so it would never be. Does that make sense?
What are you referring to?
I'm just saying in general, there's so many things.
Like, say that again. I don't know.
There's so many things. Okay, so
I kind of was like lost in what you were saying. Maybe I wasn't here.
Okay, so let's just use a friend for an example. So I have this friend, Stacy, and Hey guys, we see and we love all the genuine love and support that we're getting, even when it comes down to like a story we share, a like, or just a comment. Like, we love engaging with you guys, and we just wanted to give you our flowers. We have some really special surprises coming up soon, and we hope you guys are excited about them like we are.
Yeah, we genuinely mean that, you guys. Like, a share, everything is
counts.
just so, like, it's like our baby. It's our baby, and it's God's baby, and it's our offering to the world, and that's just big to us. So I wanted to say that we are going to start having question box on our Instagram stories. So please anonymously, we won't tell who it is, but we want to start answering. Right. If you have any personal questions, if you have any questions or advice that you need and that you would like for us to answer on the next video, we are super happy and excited to do something like that and start doing that, because we get to help y'all individually, and just talk about what we feel and what our heart space says about that situation or whatever.
Yeah, we just want to open the door for you guys to feel comfortable enough to communicate with us, because we see you and we love you. Back to the episode. Stacy likes to party. She likes to go out, and I know, like, right now I'm focused and there's somewhere else that I need to be and give my time to. And it's just like, I know that that part of me has died. You're going to sit there and play tug of war with your spirit, because your spirit does not want that, because you have fed your spirit to a certain level. So anytime you go beneath that level, you're really being a disgrace to yourself. Mm-hmm. And that goes with anything, like relationships or anything that doesn't serve you. Once you've reached a certain level, you can't be pulled back.
You can be, but it would be people pleasing.
Yeah. But there's just, when you are the type of person like us and you have something in you that just won't allow you to settle.
That's what it is. I think, like, our audience... I think our audience has to be,
because we know who we are.
I think our audience has to be people that know they can't settle and that know they're meant for more. It has to be.
Like,
aside
if you're
from being
listening
spiritual,
to this right now, you know in your heart, like, y'all know
you're
that
built for more.
You're built for more. You're working on yourself.
I always knew that since I was young. Mm-hmm. I remember, like, I was gonna be a nurse, dude. I was gonna be a nurse, and then I was like, I'm built for more. Mm-hmm. I felt like I had something bigger to do. And it wasn't to, like, say that nurse wasn't big, because it is big. Anything you choose is big, to another version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? But I needed bigger, and God was saying bigger.
I went to school to be a nurse too.
Did you really? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. And then I changed my major, like, right before nursing school. Like, I had to apply. I don't know at the time if it was fear or if it was because fear of, like, doing something that I knew I did not want to do, that I knew I was doing to please my family. And it's like, I can please y'all in a different way and still please myself. Like, y'all gonna be happy for me regardless, because I'm gonna be successful. Like, you're gonna be happy for me. You might think I'm doing nothing with my life right now,
right?
But you're gonna see.
I heard this Bashar talk about how like, your people, your family, whether they consciously know it or don't consciously know it, they want the best for you, and they want you to be your full authentic self. So whenever you are not yourself, like, they might not know it, but unconsciously, they do want you to be yourself. They do want you to succeed. But then their projections of insecurities and fears come in. Then they're like, don't do that. This might happen. This might happen. This might happen. But it's not even them. It's just their beliefs and everything that they've seen, everything. But unconsciously, the people that love you do want you to succeed.
And some people that love you, take my grandmother, for instance. I love you, Grandma.
We love you.
But, like, sometimes people will unconsciously know that they're holding you back. That's what you were saying, but everything is out of love. They're like, please don't move to a new city. Like it's so much crime right there, and why do you want to move and like all of this? And have you watched the news? No, I do not watch the news.
I do not, and I will
don't
not
even watch the weather. Like, I be living on vibes
for real. I'm like, you're like,
I feel.
What's the weather outside?
I don't know.
Nah, for real, yeah. They're afraid. Girl, I came across a family member recently.
But deep down inside, deep down inside, they're always proud. Like, whatever you do. Whatever.
Yeah. But that's also, like, you just have to... Oh, this was so powerful. It was a cousin. One of my cousins can sing really good, right? And her mom was telling me, I was like, yeah, she sings really good. I didn't know she could sing. Like, I genuinely didn't know. And she's like, yeah, but I told her not to do that, because, the music industry is not a good industry. And my family members used to do music and they never got far. And I was like, in my head, I was like, those are all projections and fears. She was like, I told her not to do music because to instead get a diploma. And in my head, I was like,
that's the worst thing.
And I said, if it's for her, she'll keep coming back to it. I said, I'm going into the industry. I said, she was like, be careful. And I was like, it's not, I was like, the thing is, I was like, I'm going to tell you something. There is power in knowing who you are. A strong, confident woman and a woman who has discernment is going to know, that vibe doesn't sit with me.
Okay.
That energy doesn't sit well. Ooh, they just came. Or someone's inviting you to the studio. Someone's inviting you, I can help you out. You can automatically sense and feel when something's off. And I told her that. I said, I have that power of feeling and knowing and seeing, they're in it for a different intention. They see me with other eyes. I can just sense it. And so I was like, that's the power of being a woman who has discernment and a woman who knows who she is and has that and trusts that gut instinct.
Girl, we live the same life. I literally just had that same conversation with my grandfather.
Really?
Yeah, about podcasting and acting. And he was just telling me like, yeah, there's like how it was so great, but then follow it with there was this one actress that was really big and she trusted someone and they took advantage of her. And I said, well, when you have God and when you have discernment, I truly believe that I'm untouchable. Like, I truly believe that. And I don't need no weapon to protect me because no weapon will form against me
shall prosper. Nah, I literally told her the same thing. I said, and also me and God have a relationship like this, so I know I'm protected.
You don't even have to explain it to people that's not gonna get it.
I don't. You're right, but I wanted to show her
because her daughter.
Exactly, because I was like, if it's her thing, even if she gets her career and everything, she's gonna get back to it. She was like, well, I was telling her to do it as a hobby. I was like, even then, something so big inside of you can't just be a freaking hobby.
Yo, bro. Literally. Oh my goodness. People say this all the time.
Bro.
Are you still doing that on the side? No, I'm doing it full time.
Right.
And that little job that I go to, that's on the side.
Nah,
like, what do you mean?
Bro, I have too many people, family members who sleep on themselves who I know have big talent, but they are... Obviously, I get it. Because everyone around them tells them, you need money right now. You need a job. You need...
And we just laugh like, you sound crazy. Like,
I know, sis, but they don't have the faith that we have. They don't have... It's different levels of consciousness. That's all it is.
Not everybody will. Not everybody is meant to. Not everybody is supposed to be big or supposed to chase their dreams. Like, we need... people to work in the hospital. We need people to work in the bank. Like,
but we
need
also
listeners. Like, we need
but we need passionate people.
We do need passionate
That's what the world needs.
Whatever you're doing, be passionate about it.
And if you're not passionate, please don't do it. Ooh. Please don't do it for money. Please, because you have a lot of nurses, teachers, people everywhere
and
that just do things.
Love it.
Yeah, but they do things for money, and then the people that receive that exchange, they feel like they're like, dang, how can you be so empty? Dang, why are you treating me like this? Because they're in it for the money. They're not in it to see the good in this service that they're giving
at
you.
like fast food restaurants.
Especially there.
It's like, kind of just cook, because you ain't going, everybody there don't want to be there. I mean,
not everybody's, I wasn't passionate about working my restaurant job, but I was passionate about helping people and serving and making sure that we have a good energy exchange.
So you can find those things. And I think we try to focus on the good things. Just like in life, we try to realize, okay, what am I grateful for? I know these things didn't go my way, but why am I here? Why am I here? When you look at it from that point of view, you unlock a new level to success.
Yeah.
You don't have to go around in circles and be there for years to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think what she's trying to say is, if you are working as a nurse and you know you are very talented and like you can play the piano real good,
or can
I know
sing.
you.
Girl, please
Literally.
sing my heart out.
Or like, have any, like, you can paint, like whatever it is that you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you that your dreams are too little or too small.
Exactly.
Because that's a lie. Those are your gifts and your dreams. And as long as you're pursuing them, like if you want it badly enough, what I realized, you'll do both.
I have this cousin.
Like sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But if you want it badly enough, you'll show up to that. And I started asking myself, okay, you want to do this. You want to do this. You want to do this. But are you putting in the work to do any of it? And how are you setting yourself up for success? Because God wants you to have it, but if you're not going to set yourself up and do a little bit of work, then it's going to go to someone that he knows that he can give it to, that is going to use it. And then that's why you're like, oh, dang, I wanted to do that. Somebody just took my idea. No, baby, the idea did not belong to you. It's bigger than you.
Right. Yeah. I have this cousin, right? And since he was little, he played soccer. And that's like his thing. I know it. And I have asked him before, I'm like, if you could do one thing in this life, what would you do? And he said, play soccer. Aww. But he's going to school to do something completely different because he needs to make money, right? He needs to be. But when I tell you, I've told even his mom, I'm like, if he just knew that if he put all of that passion and time and effort and energy into what he really loved, that's what would get him out of just trying to survive in this world. You know, and there's so many people out there who have so many passions and that go to do something else to get the money. I get it. We have to survive. We got to pay our bills, right? And that's okay temporarily, but know your passion, know where your heart is, and please follow that, because when you follow that, you make this world a better place, because with you following your passion, you get to inspire one person that's watching you. Whoa, they decided to follow their passion. Whoa, they decided to not do what the whole world is doing and chasing the bread, chasing the money, chasing the comfortable life, the mediocre life, right? No, don't chase the mediocre life. Chase your passion, chase your heart, align with it. Don't chase it, align with it. Because it's in you. It's in all of us. And maybe you haven't found your purpose or passion yet. I'm trying to say passion, because purpose is everything. We have purpose in everything. We've talked about this before. Yeah. But if you maybe you don't know your passion yet, but keep looking, keep expanding yourself, keep trying new things, because that's where you find your passion. Right. It took me. I was 23 when I realized that my passion was singing. 23 years old.
And that's so young, y'all. Like,
so young.
Sometimes we, like I said, to me, everybody's young. Everybody's able. Like, there's people that start at 70. There's people that start later on in life. And they make it. It doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make them behind. It doesn't make them ahead. It makes them right where they're supposed to be in alignment. And I just want to say thank you to all of the creatives in this world. To not just the creatives, but to the people who show up and do what they love and make this world a better place. Yeah. Like,
because what we're doing is we're inspiring others to do the same. Like us showing up right now, Dude, I felt like that prayer that I did like shook me. It kind of gave me, it uplifted me, because I was like, God, thank you, because I feel like it's such an honor to be sitting here and use our voices to serve your world. Your world, to light up one life. When we do that, they light up another life, and then you light up hundreds and thousands and millions of lives with just your candlelight.
Right. And also, like, by just opening your mouth, like you said, words is so powerful. Not everybody's called to be a speaker. Not everybody's called to be a host, a singer, a rapper, anything that has to do with opening your mouth and creating in that way. But for the people who are called to do that, then I feel like you have to do that even when you, like, there's this thing that fights with you, because showing up in that way is so precious and so powerful, and it's almost like is resistant to you doing those things, but you just have to do it anyway, even when you don't feel like it. And the more you do that, the better you become at doing the things you love, honestly, because there's a lot of times where we don't feel like showing up to the pod, and most of the time we go off our spirit and we're like, okay, sis, maybe not today. But I'm starting to realize that I'm changing the way of my thinking. I'm not showing up because, like, I gotta show up because consistency, but I'm changing it to I gotta show up because I get to show, like, God can use me. So that's a big thing.
Sometimes our energy is off, and that's the only reason why we don't want to I love showing up. I do.
I want to be a show up.
I love being here. I love talk. We could talk for hours.
To you for hours.
Right, for real.
It's up to you.
So it's not even that. It's about that energy that sometimes. It's that energy that sometimes we just are like down or something, and we're like, dang, we don't want to emit this type of energy and frequency to the world. But maybe some people need that.
It's not even just that, though. It's more so like I feel like my cup is empty. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, when we first started potting, we would already have a list, and it will kind of be not too script, but we know what we want to talk about. But we switched that to surrendering to what God needs us to talk about or what comes up.
Yeah, there's power in that. Oh my God, there's so much power in that,
because anything can come up when God touches your mouth with his hand, like literally anything.
Yeah, I just told my aunt earlier,
and it can flow so beautifully. Like, we don't
plan it. I mean, I looked through our notes today because we were talking about something on the phone, bro. You know, the many times
our phone conversations, how I said I'm gonna start calling you and just recording that way.
Yes. And I agreed. I think that would be such a powerful thing to do, because even our phone calls are just so intense, so deep, and we're just in the moment. And if you guys could just witness that, I think there's power in that. I know there's power in that. Yeah. And I feel like God is going to make you flip the switch and be like, let's record this phone call. He's going to start doing that. Because
anything and everything for
just God. Recently we had such a deep talk. Oh,
girl. I was going to say, like, we do want to highlight that we are human. Of course, I know y'all not looking at us like they act like they're so perfect or they're human or not, but y'all, if you think that, then LOL, because we're not. And we're going through all of this. Listen, that girl thirsty. Just kidding. But we're going through this journey together, and I think we really do practice what we preach, and our style is now. We don't really talk about the past too much, and we don't really overdo the future. You know what I'm saying?
Our style is now.
Our style is now.
I think that's the title.
Our style is right now in this moment. Like, y'all.
The eternal moment of now. That's all that exists. The past doesn't exist. The now exists. And even the now, right now, a minute ago was yesterday, was a minute ago. And now is just now. This is it.
Yeah.
Like and it's like so many things happen, right? Through the now. And we just kind of pass through it, but it's not happening now anymore. It already happened minutes ago.
And that's why you get stuck. Because your brain is not like, okay, believe me when I say it's important to heal, but sometimes your brain is like stuck on something that didn't even happen to you, bro.
What you mean?
I'm being dramatic, but you're like, sometimes you're worried about things that happened like 10 years ago, and instead of worrying, what you can do is feed the mind, feed your soul, and like, don't be so stuck on like, this happened to me in a victim mindset, but this happened for me, and how can I change it?
Bro.
Or how can I show up?
Bro. The eternal moment of now. Just now. And every moment is different from the next. Or the, yeah. Did I say that right? Does that make sense? Every moment is different from the next.
The unknown. Yeah. Yeah,
but what I wanted to say is that, like, you know how many times, remember I was telling you this, that my family has, our families have, they have already an idea of who we were in our past. Mm-hmm. And that's why when we try to recreate ourselves and become anew, they hold that against us. Mm-hmm. Because they're like, you can't do that.
You don't talk like that.
You don't talk like that. You don't. Since when are you this person? Since when are you asking for respect? Since when are you trying to be bigger? And, you know, if they're not doing that. Mm-hmm. So they always are going to judge you based off of the idea of you before. So that's why it's really hard for people to even come up when they have the weight of their family or their loved ones holding them down. But even then, you have to persevere, because what you don't know is that, yeah, you're coming out of that space of what they know about you, but every single day and every single moment you can recreate yourself. There's no, you can't be this person, that you can't quit these habits, you can't stop this addiction, you can't blah blah blah, right? Any situation that you have going that is such a repetitive thing, you think that you can't do it because the rest of the world thinks that you're that person. But just because they think you're that person doesn't mean you're that person. You can choose tomorrow, in the next moment, right now, to change into another person, just with that intention, just with that saying of, I need to do this. I need to do this to save myself. I need to do this to save my family, to save my kid, to save my loved ones, to save the people around me. There's people that look up to you and you don't even know, and you're going through something. And it's like, pull yourself up, you got it. I mean, and you're not alone. We got God.
I was about to say something, but
my point is that you can recreate yourself in any moment in time. Any moment that you decide, you know what, I don't want to keep doing this. You know what? It's just like my younger brother. He used to have a lot of weight on him, right? And he used to eat really, like, he was like not in the best health condition. And he said that he saw himself in a video without a shirt on. Or no, he was on top of like a bull, like a mechanical bull. And he was like, I saw my rolls, dude. Like, you know how he talks. You've been hearing him how he talks lately on my FaceTime call. He's like, I saw my rolls, dude. And bro, I said, bro, nah, I got to get in the gym. So he started getting in the gym. Mm-hmm. He's super skinny now. He eats super healthy now. Mm-hmm. He watches what he eats. He's not obsessive, but he's taking care of his health. Mm-hmm. And that only happened because he decided in one instant, I don't like this anymore.
It's a choice away. Like, it's literally a choice away. Mm-hmm. And then once you get to that choice away, it's like, okay, one more time of doing this. And then you're training your body. Like, habits are
hard to break.
They're hard to break, and they're hard to... It's like they're easy to form and hard to break. So if they're easy to form and they're hard to break, then you just have to, let's look at a bad habit, right? Mm-hmm. Let's look at a smoker. Right. Okay, you smoke every single day, all day. Maybe, I don't know.
10 times a day. There's people who do that.
But then you want to break that, but you want to replace it by being healthy like your brother. So what you do in that situation is go to the gym every day to balance that out. Because by you going to the gym every day with that, even if it is hard with you doing that, even if you can't break it in that second, because let's be honest, addiction is real. Like, so you doing that, like, will your mindset, like, it would train your mindset, and you'll start thinking, I'm better than this. And you'll start knowing, like, that has to go. Just like a person who goes to the gym but still eats bad. You're like, bro, I got to start eating right, or else it ain't doing nothing for me.
And
like,
you know it. You're aware. But you know what breaks, I feel, I'm going to just say this because that's what I feel. I feel like what breaks a habit is deciding to become a new person. Because the old version of you is stuck to that habit. But you become another person and you have different habits.
How do you become that other person?
How do you become that other person? I feel like you would have to sit down, because I'm asking myself, like, how did I become who I am? Because I was insecure back in the day. Really insecure. Like, I used to have an ex-boyfriend, and I was like, I would see girls on his timeline. I'd be like, like, I used to be, it was ugly, but it was a part of.
Didn't we all? And didn't
self.
we, like, use certain things, but basically, okay. So you know how, sorry to go off subject, but not really. You know how you'll have a conversation with someone and you're like, you think I'm better than you? And it's like, no, you think I'm better than you, because you would have never said that.
Exactly.
Like, you know, it's one of those things.
Yeah. So. And so what really helped me, I feel like what helped me become more sure of myself and confident was loving myself. I had to love myself. I didn't love myself back then. That's how I became a different person. I started to say, how can I love myself? Well, I have to accept all my insecurities. The only reason why I compare myself to that girl that has big boobs is because I feel like I have small ones. But I gotta love what I got, because God gifted me who I am, and I am this person for a reason. I'm not that person for a reason. And I also know that there's beautiful girls, and I would hope that God made thousands and millions of beautiful girls in this world. There's not just one, and I'm not gonna be the only one. That's what I said. And so I had to sit down and with myself and, like, kind of like check myself, you know? I'm like, girl, who do you think you are, thinking that you're the only beautiful one? You got to admire beauty. You can't just think that it's just you, right? You can't just think that.
Your heart's not even in the right place.
Exactly. I'm over here being jealous.
Insecurity.
I genuinely remember the situation where I was jealous of this girl because she had bigger boobs than I did. And I was like, and I was like, ew, that's so ugly of me. And then I checked myself. I even wrote something to myself. And I was like, girl, love yourself. And so I started to practice that. I started to embrace that part of me. And then I started to build a whole different version of myself. But becoming, because it all is wired in your thoughts of yourself. You can only be someone if you're thinking from that perspective.
Yeah.
So it starts in the thinking and the belief in what you say to yourself, in how you act.
Thinking, belief, but also acceptance is a really big one. Because when you said that, I don't know, like, did your ex respond like, you're insecure, or like, how did he respond? I think
he did used to tell me that.
You're insecure.
I think so.
It's like, he said that, but it helped you in so many ways.
Yeah, like being aware of something. That's the most important part, because a lot of people that are, like, stuck in their habits.
Acceptance.
Awareness, acceptance. Because you can be aware of something but not accept it. You can be aware that, oh, I'm insecure.
You can't accept something and not be aware of it.
Right. That's true. You can't accept something and not, yeah, you're right. Because because I can't say I'm insecure, which I'm not anymore, but I used to be. I can't say I'm insecure and not accept that I'm insecure. Like, I have to accept it, because I'm saying I am insecure.
You will not change if you don't accept it.
Right, exactly. That's where the change happens. Let me accept that I am insecure, and let me do better. How can I do better? Well, I can start thinking differently. How do I start thinking differently? Well, I got to see, where does this come from? Why do I feel the need to compare myself? Why do I feel the need to go and and think that this girl is better looking than me. No, everyone has their own beauty, their unique beauty. And that is why God makes different unique expressions of itself.
And a lot of the time in our minds, we think the world revolves around us and everything happening for us and everybody saying everything to us intentionally, and it's an attack on us. We're very offensive. And when you're offensive, then you're able to, like, things that people throw on you, you believe them. And when you said the whole insecurity thing, I too was insecure in a way where it was like, okay, this person is battling like basically like a lust addiction in a way. And you're looking at yourself like, like in those situations, like you cannot compare yourself and wonder like, oh, well, this is his type, or try to figure it out. Like, what's his type? Or maybe I need to change this about myself. Or if I change this, if I change my hair color, I know he likes my hair straight, I'm gonna wear my hair straight. Then you're trying to get someone else's approval when it's not even about that. The battle is internal for an individual person. So I think also when you have that mindset and understanding of that's like, not my, like, it has nothing to do with me and everything to do with the inside of this person.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's just like really accepting that, changing who you are, changing those habits. I think you just have to rewire that belief of, I'm still this person, so I still have this habit. So you have the habit. So how do you get rid of the habit? You become a different person. You try to become a different, who does that next version of you want to, what kind of habits do they want to have?
You got to know, like, you got to have a ideal image or write it down, or you have to have somewhat, like, you cannot, it's like, yes, you have to have desires of who you want to be. You have to know the things that trigger you, the things that you're like, I really don't like this about myself, and start working on it. Like, how can I change this?
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then how do you even know what the best version of yourself is?
Yeah, always having the vision, the grandest vision of this greatest version of you.
And even asking yourself, like, on a daily, like, okay, how did I show up as her today? Because a lot of times we'll show up either as who we're becoming, or we'll show up as who we've been in the past. What would you say is one thing that you are going through right now, and one thing that you want someone else to get, you know?
Moving forward with all the ideas, the creative insights, the nudges, the passion that I have, and really bringing it into this physical experience. Like, not only thinking about it and pondering about it and giving it lip service, but bringing it to life. All the songs I have in my head, all the ideas that I have, let's write about this, let's sing about this, let's try this, let's, as weird and as crazy as it can be, bringing it to life. Because me moving forward with that is saying yes to the new life that I want. Is saying yes to things that I used to not say yes to. It's saying yes to the new life that's awaiting me and approaching me. And I feel like anyone can take from that, because you know everyone has, I mean, maybe not everyone, but I feel like everybody has ideas, creative ideas and insights, and like, dude, I get them in the shower. I'm sure you get them too. I'm sure somebody gets them in the shower.
Right now, you definitely get them.
Yeah. So that's all I would want someone to take from it. Like, let's start putting action and not just thinking about it. Let's start putting in that action and seeing it as an offering to God, instead of seeing it like, I'm going to procrastinate. I don't know when to start. I don't know what to do. Blah, blah, blah. Just do it. And see it as an offering to God, because all of the creativity and all of everything that you create comes from God, comes from the higher mind, from the higher power, because otherwise, where would it come from? Imagination is so powerful. So that's all I would want people and myself to take from this season from now. What
I
about
love
you?
that. I love that because everything is ordained in the time that it's supposed to happen. Because last episode we talked about basically a preparation for stepping out. We talked about abundance mindset, and
We kind of went into it this time, but I didn't even finish the 5 forms, but I'm glad because everything flowed the way it was supposed to.
yeah, it did.
Maybe next time I'll finish the 5 forms of abundance with you guys, and we can have more topics and more to talk about as far as that. Because this episode kind of went based off of that, what I was, right? Because that's how it started. I was like, let me show you this. And then we started talking about giving and receiving, and then those problems, and then insecure. Like,
But we named like way more than 5.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's what I would say. Take from this season, from now, from what I want you guys to take from me.
Aww.
What about you, girl?
Sweet. I am going through the same thing right now, to be honest, and I'm going through it, but I'm noticing the little things that are trying to distract me away from it, and I'm able to identify them and say no. And say no.
Right.
No. I told her that my therapist told me to say no. And it's funny because I do it with my nephew all the time, and he says no all the time. So sometimes you just have to say no. And it doesn't mean no forever. It might just mean no right now when it comes to whatever this is in your life that you know you need to say no to. But it's a sacrifice for the life that you want. So showing up more for you. Like even this weekend, I wanted to go, like I felt the urge to go see my family. But I also know like when I go over there, I kind of get stuck there all day. And it's like, okay, not that I don't love them, but I did spend like my whole last weekend with them. So I'm like, let me practice what I preach. Let me conserve my energy. That's what I was saying. Conserving your energy and then standing on it and moving in action. So let me conserve my energy and let me show up for myself. In this time right now that I'm catching myself trying to distract myself, I don't know why, y'all, like it's something bigger than us that we know we have to get certain things done, or we want to get certain things done, and here comes a distraction. Here comes the life,
And we say yes to it, and we're like, okay, and then and then that thing is stuck in the back of our head, right?
And then you beat yourself up about it, but it's something bigger. Like your purpose is so big, and like I want you guys to know that once you get it, like we said, you get it. The ones who get it. So if you are paying attention to your body, you're in tune with that, you're in tune with your mind, and you're in tune with, oh, okay, so I'm trying to distract myself right now. Or what, and you're able to basically not do that and show up for yourself. It makes you feel so good. A lot of the time, what we're doing is we're falling in love with the feeling of what we want. And that's another way to become the best version of yourself, to be honest. Because if we have that feeling where we failed ourselves that one time, then that feeling lives with us, kind of, if you don't know how to shake it off or break it. But once we start doing the things that we know we need to do and showing up for ourselves, showing up for our world, like, then we're able to feel that abundance and we're able to move in abundance. And that's what I'm learning. That's where I'm at. And I'm going to continue to grow. I'm going to continue to call out BS when it comes my way. That's what I'm going to do. And
It's powerful.
that's so good.
I think it's just overall put in the action. Let's start putting the action.
Stand on it.
Stand on it. Be aware. Know who you are.
Know
And keep
who
progressing.
you are.
Keep progressing. Because it's only going to get better and better. I have this sticky note on my wall in my room that says my life is getting better and better and better.
I have this screensaver on my phone. It actually says, things are always working out for me.
I love that. See, surround yourself around positive affirmations, things that remind you. Like, grab sticky notes and post them on your wall, dude. I used to have like a line of like 5 in the bathroom, and it was like about right, money comes to me easily, effortlessly, frequently. All my needs are met. Everything's working out for me. Like, reminders that we need. Like, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind.
But like she said, also don't let it just live in your mind. Like, let it live in your heart and move you.
Right. Powerful. Oof. I like that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. We're so excited to engage more with you guys. I loved this episode. I really did.
I love it. It's so like authentic. Like,
as always.
It's everything.
As always.
And I found the problem.
Oof. Talking about distraction.
Ooh, got what I need.
Wow.
Myself.
Hey. Oh, yeah, she said hey at the same time. Bye, guys.
Bye.